Yo, what's up, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your own Rust Console Edition server with the new gen that just came out. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go to gportal.com and order your server. It's going to ask you what region you want to be in. Just fill all of that out. And then it's going to take you to a screen that's going to look just like this. After you've ordered your server, you're going to be seeing a screen that looks like this. It could be a lot of info. First thing I recommend is just looking at them and see what it says underneath. So the name of your server, the maximum character length 16, and blah, 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 blah. If you want a password, stuff like that. So this is really generic stuff that you probably already know how to do. Left message, the notification when a player's leaving the server, stuff like that. Really self-explanatory. Some things that I really wish somebody had told me more about are like admin messages, welcome screen text, server rules messages, stuff like this. One huge tip I'll give you is use this right here. So /BR, or in the alligator things. If you're using this, it breaks it up into a new line. So the welcome screen text only gives you one little line to write it. You have to write it out in one single line. But if you use this right here, this brace or bracket, it breaks it up and puts it on a new line. So this isn't just one long line of text when you're in game. It's actually a much more nicer looking thing. So other than that, so much different stuff here. Most important is going to be your boot commands. So your custom booty commands. This is basically what you take and make your server unique. If you want a 6x server, if you want things to despawn quicker, all stuff like that, these are commands that run every single time your server restarts, so they're extremely important to have. Two extremely valuable resources I use are the Rust Console Edition server right here and this Discord that I'm going to bring up, Rust Console Edition info and help. They have so many different things. You know, AI damage, if you want to change how much scientists hurt you, show all the, like, there's so much stuff in here that's so esoteric and not really even the biggest servers out there know about. So you can do so much different stuff to your server. Even at night, you can set the range for the night light so you can make it brighter or darker for people. There's so much you can do to customize your server, and all of that is done right in your boot commands. Because these commands, again, run every single time the server starts up. Speaking of which, if you have your server and you're following along now, what you're going to want to take a moment to do is go to backups. You're going to go to backups and you're going to turn on automatic backups. This is extremely important if you're going to be running a server with people, a lot of people playing on it. You're going to want it to restart every day at a certain time. And when it restarts, it creates a backup. So say 6 hours after a restart, you accidentally give the entire server C4 and there's 100 people on. You can roll it back now 6 hours and go back to that backup. If you have no backups, then if something happens to your server, you could lose all the data. So always put on backups, select automatic backups. Your next step is going to go to restarts, and you're going to turn on and make a daily restart for no wipe. Extremely important, no wipe. Make sure you put it for no wipe. That makes sure that the server just goes down and just restarts right back up and makes a save. That's all it does. It helps with lag, and it helps you if you run into any issues down the line. How do you make your old gen server new gen? You just click right here, branch, and you would just click new gen right there, and it'll go right over to new gen. We're on the server right now that I have running with some people on it, so I don't want to mess it up or anything like that. But yeah, custom boot commands, super important. I'm going to link this Discord to show you guys. There's so much in here. Plus, I'm going to link the Rust Console Wiki. Also, so much information in here. It can be overwhelming, really. That's why I prefer to stick to the Discord and just go into like a general chat or something and ask somebody, hey, do you guys know how to make scientists despawn faster? Or something like that. It's a huge community. The owner of it is actually super chill. Helped me out so much. But yeah, boot commands, super important. After that, you're going to see what you want your map to be. If you want it to be a random map, you can kind of build your own maps. What you do is click no preset, and then you throw a random number down here. You set your max players, the size of the world. Currently, I don't think we can go above 3,500. Yeah, so 3,500 is max you can go as of right now with this video, but I'm sure it'll be more. Same with max pop can only go to 100. I'm sure it's going to be increasing with new gen, but for right now. This is pretty cool. You can actually build up your own maps. They don't always work 100% of the time, but you can actually add in, like I can add a bandit camp here. We can add an airfield. Stuff like that, depending on your map. I've seen server owners in the past actually take their map and remove a couple monuments because there's so many people on the server that they have more room to build these crazy huge bases. It helps with lag, stuff like that. So now this right here, the maximum numbers of naturally spawning ribs, this is a lie. This is total lie. You put one, you're going to see one every so often. So I always leave this at one. If you put it to 2, that means there'll be 2 ribs within, like, I think it's 1 grid every time. So they can start adding up. You really don't need that many. Especially if you have a modded server, if you're using some of the bots that I'm going to be showing you guys today, you can have people just spawn a rib on them. So it's not really important. Rowboat, this, 1 or 2. Decay, stuff like that. I generally leave it low for high pop servers if there's a lot going on. It's mostly PvP. You really leave these too low. You don't want, obviously, 1 minute somebody go out in the water and just die immediately. You don't want that. So, yeah. Decays, stuff like that. If you want stability, most people do. If you turn this off, you can build sky bases. Radiation, pretty self-explanatory. Progress time. Basically, do you want time to stay in one place or do you want it to keep going? So you can set the length in minutes of day and night. NPC think, NPC nav, this stuff. Again, the rest of the commands are really self-explanatory. Another one that is pretty fun that I'll mention is workbench override. This is pretty cool. So right now at 1, people can craft tier 1 BPs without a tier 1. You can go all the way up to tier 3. You can make it so anybody can craft anything. You don't need a workbench. The stack size, so instead of 1,000 stone, you could hold 3,000. Gather scale, when you hit a stone node, you get a 3,000 stone instead of 1,000 with 3x. You can make this like 1.25 or 1.2 if you want. Really weird. So again, you can customize it like crazy. This stuff here, again, self-explanatory. Special events, this is pretty cool. If you want Easter, Halloween, Christmas, all that stuff. If you're doing Halloween and you just want the items, just do Halloween. If you want the dungeons and stuff too, then you do the Halloween portal. Yeah, and I mean, that's pretty much it. Demo hammer is God hammer. If you turn that on, people can just break their builds no matter what, anytime. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of setting up your own server. The more questions you're gonna have, or what bot am I gonna use, how do I make my server 6x, how do I, you know, all that stuff. So I'll try to show you that. So most of that, again, is gonna be in your boot commands. So if we take a look at my boot commands here, we can see I have some set modifier sulfur ore collection 3. So this one command right here, or tool 2 for a hammer, this makes it so my server is more boosted than a 3x. You could do a 4x, a 5x, a 6x, a 10x, an 18x. You could do all different stuff like that. And these commands are what make it so. Without your boot commands, you can only do 3x loot, 3x farm. With your boot commands, you can change your server to make it as crazy as you want. So with that said, to find boot commands again, Rust Console Edition Wiki, I'll link it below. This Discord right here, where I personally go to and have been going to for a while, I'll link this as well. Rust Console info and help. This is pretty much all the main stuff that you're going to want to know. Everything else now, after you have your boot commands set up, is going to be the I need wood, I need scrap, and setting up all of that stuff. So this video is already like 10 minutes long, so I'm just going to keep it super quick. I'm going to make another video, depending on how good this one does, how to set up the bot, all the bots, and everything about bots for the next one. Thanks, homies.